Welcome to another edition of Eye on the Tigers News. I'm Kennedy Lamb, and we're very pleased you decided to join us.
And I'm Sarah Petricola. Here's the news we've been following for you. With little fanfare to mark a rare bipartisan achievement, President Barack Obama on Tuesday signed a massive $1.1 trillion spending bill that keeps the government operating over the next 9 months. The legislation was a compromise that angered liberals and conservatives alike, but avoided a government shutdown and put off partisan clashes over immigration to the next year. It was one of the last acts of Congress under the current Republican House and Democratic-controlled Senate. In January, the new Congress will return with Republicans in charge of both chambers. The measure retains cuts negotiated in previous budget battles and rolls back some banking regulations.
Jeb Bush, the former governor of Florida, answered the biggest question looming over the Republican Party's next campaign for the White House on Tuesday, all but declaring his candidacy for president more than a year before the first primaries. Bush, the son and brother of Republican presidents, is the first potential candidate to step up this far into the 2016 contest, and his early announcement could deeply affect the race for the GOP nomination. He is the early favorite of the GOP establishment wing, and his move puts immediate pressure on other establishment-minded GOP contenders to start competing with him for donors, campaign staff, and national attention.
Speaking of the presidential race, which is nearly 2 years away, Republican George Pataki said he's very seriously considering a run for president in 2016, arguing that the nation needs a chief executive with the kind of experience he gained during the 3 terms as New York's governor. Pataki told the Daily News that he will decide next year whether to run. He said he has received good responses from the ordinary citizens he's met on trips to states that include New Hampshire.
Threats of violence against movie theaters. The New York premiere of The Interview canceled. Leaks of thousands more private emails. Lawsuits by former employees that could cost tens of millions in damages. The fallout from the Sony Pictures Entertainment hack that began 4 weeks ago exploded Tuesday after the shadowy group calling themselves the Guardians of Peace escalated their attack beyond corporate espionage and threatened moviegoers with violence reminiscent of the terrorist attack of September 11, 2001. The Department of Homeland Security said there was, quote, no credible intelligence to indicate an active plot against the movie theaters, unquote.
For the first time in its history, the sponsors of Boston's St. Patrick's Day Parade will allow a group representing the gay community to participate, drawing cheers from Mayor Martin Walsh, who boycotted the event last year over the exclusion. The South Boston Allied War Veterans Council, which has long resisted the inclusion of gay groups and won a U.S. Supreme Court decision in 1995 upholding their right to ban them from the annual parade that draws hundreds of thousands of spectators, voted 5-4 to allow the group Outvets to march in the parade, scheduled for March 15th.
Wet weather has been dominant this week. Will it continue? Let's bring in Andrea Ross with the forecast.
If you can remember the last time we saw any appreciable sunshine, well then, you have a better memory than most. And you'll need that memory as we continue to be inundated with clouds. Those clouds have produced and will continue to produce rain and the snow showers later on before turning to all snow Thursday, even though the snow will be more scattered. Light accumulations are expected. Temperatures are going to continue to go down as we move to the weekend. But, that's a big but, we could see some sun on Saturday and Sunday before our next system moves in.
Here's Abby Garrett with a quick look at what's up in sports.
Both Mexico basketball teams took it on the chin last night against Fulton. First, the boys' team was outscored early, down 22-10 after the first quarter. The Tigers were never able to get back in the game, losing 66-38. Justin Marsden led the way with 16 points. The team heads to JD on Friday. The Gross team had an equally tough night. Their problems began in the second quarter as they were outscored 17-7 to Fulton on their way to a 52-34 defeat. Amy Holland had 11 for the Lady Tigers, who will look for their first win of the year when they host JD on Friday. The boys swimming and diving team were winners yesterday with a 114-68 dunking of Syracuse. Jacob Zedak, Dan Mullen, and Noah Galuzzo were multiple winners. Staying local, the boys wrestling team hosts Fulton tonight in one of the longest-running rivalries in Central New York sports. The match will be available live and then archived on our Ustream channel. Go to the district's web page and click on the event story to find the link for the live stream. Of course, the Tigers are led by returning state champion senior Trevor Allard. NASCAR driver Brian Vickers underwent surgery to repair a hole in his heart for the second time, and the recovery period will cause him to miss the start of the 2015 season. Vickers said in a statement Monday issued by Michael Waltrip Racing that his previous health issues have given him a very keen understanding of my body that helped him recognize something wasn't right last week. Tests revealed his body was rejecting the artificial patch he received in 2010 procedure to fix the hole in his heart. He said he had another corrective surgery Saturday to repair the hole. Alex Rodriguez faces a diminished role in his return to the New York Yankees, who have stripped A-Rod of his third base job and plan to limit his role to a full-time designated hitter at most. General Manager Brian Cashman said Tuesday that A-Rod's days as an everyday fielder are over in the Bronx, and Chase Headley will start at third after agreeing this week to a $52 million four-year contract.
Just about a week left until Christmas, and everyone is busy. Here's Nathaniel with what's on the calendar.
A look at the calendar reveals that 5-week grades for the second quarter were posted yesterday and will be mailed home later this week. Financial Aid Night, which was postponed last week, is back on schedule for tonight, beginning at 6 in the high school. Mexico Holiday Jazz Group will be performing at the Great Northern Mall on Thursday, beginning at 7. Mock trial students will meet this Thursday afternoon with advisors Miss Danielle DeBrule. The group will be receiving its case. On Thursday, Student Council is sponsoring an assembly where Mexico alumni will address the student body. Juniors and seniors will go during first period, and the freshmen and sophomores during the second period. Speaking of Student Council, they're reminding us that when we come back from the holiday break, we're celebrating Spirit Week. And of course, we want to wish our Jewish friends a very happy Hanukkah, which began today.
And finally today, we bring in Callie for a look at this day in history.
On this day in history, in 1903, Orville and Wilbur Wright made the first successful man-powered airplane flight near Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. In 1933, in the first NFL championship game, the Chicago Bears defeated the New York Giants 23-21 at Wrigley Field. In 1944, the U.S. Army announced the end of its policy of excluding Japanese Americans from the West Coast. In 1957, the United States successfully test-fired the Atlas intercontinental ballistic missile for the first time. In 1969, the U.S. Air Force closed its Project Blue Book by concluding there was no evidence of extraterrestrial spaceships behind thousands of UFO sightings. In 1989, the animated TV series The Simpsons premiered on Fox. It has gone on to be the longest-running comedy in history. And finally, in 2005, President George W. Bush acknowledged he'd personally authorized a secret eavesdropping program in the U.S. following September 11th.
We're out of here, at least until Friday. I'm Kennedy Lamb.
And I'm Sarah Petrocola. For the staff of Eye on the Tigers News, have a great day.